take on a role like the Paladin, the Spider, Skeletons, Warlock, or even the Manor in Vast, the Mysterious Manor. Thanks for joining me today at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Vast the Mysterious Manor is a 1 to 5 player asymmetrical board game that plays in about 1 to 2 hours. It's designed by Patrick Leader and it's published by Leader Games. They gave us this copy to review. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you my rankings with this game, Vast the Crystal Caverns, and Root, and tell you which one is my favorite. You'll set up the main game board with the starting tile face up with 4 surrounding tiles face down, armory tiles, and the entrance tile with 2 face down tiles next to it. At the beginning of the game, each player will choose a role to play. There are 5 to choose from. Each role comes with a help sheet, like the Paladin, and shows how to set up the character. And the player board will walk you through what to do on your turn, like collecting used hero cubes, taking actions, and gaining fury. There's also some special rules at the bottom of the board about shrines and treasures. The Paladin wants to kill the spider in the game, and they'll win if they can return 5 spiderlings to the box. The Skeletons start off with a small force on the board, but can grow their numbers by gaining stability throughout the game and spending it to gain a new skeleton. They are stronger when working together. Each skeleton has a base strength of 1, but strength is increased by having fellow skeletons surrounding it. They'll lose stability if they're on a lit tile at the beginning of a turn, but they'll gain some back at the end of a turn. The interesting thing is that you activate each skeleton by march order. So you might want to activate a certain skeleton to do some fighting, but you can't because it's actually later in the march order. But the good news is when a skeleton is removed from the board, then that skeleton card actually gets moved to the first place in march order, so you can hopefully start arranging those skeletons in the correct march order to help you in the game. The spider starts out as a giant spider, but can actually change form throughout the game to spiderlings and even a sorcerer, trying to gain terror by spreading webs, eggs, and feeding on blood. How you move and use cards will be slightly different depending on what form you're in. The spider might be one of the harder roles to play, trying to figure out what form to be in and when, and trying to stay away from the Paladin so they don't win the game. The Manor is all about manipulating the board by moving tiles around. This will enable you to trace lines through lit tiles without figures to gain seals, and you need to complete 14 seals to win the game. I like that all the roles have a little "you'll like this role if," and this one says manipulating the board and solving spatial puzzles. The Warlock is trying to gain curses throughout the game and win by dominating treasures and poltergeists, but you don't want figures entering your space or you'll lose half of your curses, so you definitely are trying to predict what the other players might do on their turn. They have a lot of different spells and will gain more during gameplay. The game has a lot of replayability with how the characters play against each other during the game, but also a lot of variability since you can choose a totally new character and that will give you a whole new experience for your game. And the rulebook is great with defining key terms. There's also an example round to help you in the game. There's difficulty variants to make the game easier or harder. There's a solo game here as well. And then you can actually start mixing the 2 different Vast games together, Vast the Crystal Caverns and Vast the Mysterious Manor, and play different characters in those games. The base box comes with minis and standees, and they fit great in the game insert. We have the Haunted Hallways box too, so some miniatures take the place of some of the cardboard tokens that are in the base box, like the spider webs and force walls. The Haunted Hallways also bring some different roles, like the Shadow Paladin and Armored Knight, and some new skeletons like Shiny, Singy, Sniffy, and Smashy. This game is just all around fun and really immerses you in the theme as players take on the different roles, and even the players can play it up with the spider creeping around the manor or the manor moving those pieces around. I'm a fan of the art style for the Vast games, and it fits so well into the universe. And the fun names for the skeletons are cool, like Stabby, Shooty, Screamy, Casty, and Slashy. So how would I rank these games from Leader Games? The Vast Mysterious Manor and Vast Crystal Caverns and Root. Well, Root is still my favorite. I just love the theme and the gameplay, and it did win the Tantrum House Board Game of the Year in 2018. You can check that award show up there. I just love Root. I think my next one would actually be Vast the Mysterious Manor. I think Leader Games was able to learn a lot from the original Vast game and refine it in Vast the Mysterious Manor. But in a close third would be Vast the Crystal Caverns. I think it really depends up to you what theme between the Vast you might like. Do you like the Manor or the Caverns? I think I might personally like the Manor a little bit more. Let me know in the comments below which ones you would rank. Let me know if you have any questions. Maybe you have a funny name for one of the skeletons. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Thanks for joining me today. We would love for you to subscribe to Tantrum House.